Hello, friends. Welcome back to our next episode of Kids Place, where kids come to play, learn, achieve, create, and explore. I'm Mrs. Traherne, and this is my co-host,
Mrs. Day. Let's get started with our hello song. Hello, friends. How are you? We're so happy to see you. Greet your neighbor, boogie on down, give a bump and turn around.
It's time for some conscious discipline. This is what we use to calm ourselves. In previous shows, we've done the star breath. We've done the balloon breath. Today, we're going to learn a new breath. It's called the drain. We're going to treat our bodies like a faucet. We're going to breathe in by putting our hands out in front of us. And when I feel stressed or when I feel tense, sometimes my body gets tight. So make a fist, breathe in, relax your body, and the water flows out. Try it again. Breathe in, relax your body. Third time, breathe in, relax your body.
Always remember, I am safe. Keep breathing. I can handle this. And now we're ready to learn. All right, friends, we're ready to learn. I'm here with Fanny. Fanny, how are you today?
Wonderful. Hi, everybody.
Boys and girls, I hope you're doing wonderful too. I have another special letter in the mail. I'm so excited that we're getting so much mail. Aren't you, Fanny?
Who is it from?
All right, let's take a look and see who this one is from. Oh, look, she drew flowers on it. You guys see that? Okay, it says, Dear Kids Place, my name is Olivia. I live in Loveville, Maryland. I love springtime too. Oh, she must have watched last week. My grandma and I plant a vegetable garden every year. This week we planted the seeds to get it going. My grandma says that some plants can make their own seeds and that we can even eat some of them. Did you know that? Did you know that, Fanny? Did you know that you can eat some of the seeds that plants make?
Yes. Would you like to hear my favorite seed?
I would love to hear what your favorite seed is.
I love sunflower seeds.
Oh, sunflower seeds are so good. So seeds are really special, Fanny. Do you know why they're special?
Why?
They help plants regenerate. Regenerate means to grow. So when a plant makes a seed, that little seed becomes a new plant. Isn't that so cool?
What?
So you said sunflower seeds. I love sunflower seeds too. Did you know there's other things that we can eat that are seeds?
Like what?
Let's see. Corn is a seed. Nuts are seeds. Rice are also seeds. Seeds are all around us. Beans are even seeds. Did you know a bean was a seed?
Wow, I did not.
Would you like to write a sentence about beans being seeds?
Yes, let's
Okay.
do that.
Let's write the sentence, a bean is a seed.
Okay.
Okay, every single time. Fanny's my best helper. Fanny, tell us where to start.
Over here on the left.
On the left. Okay, our first word is a bean, or a bean is a seed. I always want to start with a capital, so I'm going to start with that capital A. And then, here's my special friend here, helping me with my spaces between my words. This is our space frog, so a bean, B. What does that sound, B? What letter makes that sound?
B.
B, very good, a bean. Bean is, that's my next word. A bean is, that I sound is an I. Good job. Is, oh, here's this word again. A bean is a seed. It's going to be spelled the same way, but what's going to be important this time? Are we going to do a capital, Fanny?
No.
No, a bean is a lowercase a, seed. There's that sound again. What letter was that?
I know, it's an S.
It's an S. Seed. Okay, and what goes at the end, friends? What do I put at the end of my sentence to let me know that it's finished? That's right, it's a period. Okay, let's reread our sentence. Thank you, Space Frog, for helping us out. A bean is a seed. All right, let's see how many words are in our sentence, Fanny. You ready?
Yes.
1, 2,
two,
3, 4, and 5. I have a wonderful poem, Fanny, that I love to not only say, but I like to act it out. Would you like to help me do that today?
Yes, please.
All right, let's go act it out. All right, Fanny, so I got us all set up for our poem. Are you ready?
I am.
Okay, I'm going to do it 2 different ways. I'm going to do it here on the board, and then we're going to use another way to say it with our hands. Okay, here's the little seed in the dark, dark ground. Out comes the sun, yellow and round. Down comes the rain, wet and slow. Then out pops the little seed. Grow, grow, grow. Wasn't that fun, Fanny?
I loved it.
Okay, I have another way that we can act this out. You want to do it again?
I do.
Okay. Down goes the seed in the dark, dark ground. Out comes the sun, yellow and round. Down comes the rain, wet and slow. Then up comes the little seed. Grow, grow, grow. Nice job, Fanny. That was so much fun.
That was fun. Thanks for sharing, Mrs. Day.
No problem. Today we have a very special reader. It's someone you might know. It's our very own Mrs. Traherne. She's going to be reading to us today The Tiny Seed by Eric Carle. Let's go check it out.
Hello friends, I am so excited to be your reader today. We're going to read a story outdoors right in front of this gorgeous tree. And Fanny's here to join me with her conscious discipline sunglasses. And we're going to read The Tiny Seed by one of my all-time favorite authors, Eric Carle. And this is a story of determination. And determination is something that takes time, and we have to work hard to prosper in order to achieve a goal. I want you to think of something that may be a challenge for you. I know when I was young, learning to tie my shoes was a big challenge for me, and I had to practice for a long time, over and over again, in order to achieve that goal. So think about a challenge that you're having. And now let's read about this story of determination. The Tiny Seed by Eric Carle. It is autumn. Autumn is another word for fall. A strong wind is blowing. It blows flower seeds high in the air and carries them far across the land. One of the seeds is tiny, smaller than any of the others. Will it be able to keep up with the others? And where are they all going? One of the seeds flies higher than the others. Up, up it goes. It flies too high, and the sun's hot rays burn it up. But the tiny seed sails on with the others. Another seed lands on a tall and icy mountain. The ice never melts, and the seed cannot grow. The rest of the seeds fly on, But the tiny seed does not go as fast as the others. Now they fly over the ocean. One seed falls into the water and drowns. The others sail on with the wind, but the tiny seed does not go as high as the others. This is taking a long time. I'm feeling a lot of determination here. One seed drifts down onto the desert. It is hot and dry, and the seed cannot grow. Now, the tiny seed is flying very low, but the wind pushes it on with the others. Finally, the wind stops, and the seeds fall gently down onto the ground. A bird comes by and eats one seed. The tiny seed is not eaten. It is so small that the bird does not see it. Now it is winter. Wow, we've been through a lot of seasons. After their long trip to the seeds settle down. They look just as if they are going to sleep in the earth. Snow falls and covers them like a soft white blanket. A hungry mouse that also lives in the ground eats a seed for his lunch, but the tiny seed lies very still, and the mouse does not see it. We've escaped the bird and now the mouse. Now it is spring. After a few months, the snow has melted. It is really spring. Birds fly by, the sun shines, rain falls. The seeds grow so round and full that they start to burst open a little. Now they are not seeds anymore. They are plants. First, they send roots down into the earth. Then their little stems and leaves begin to grow up toward the sun and the air. There is another plant that grows much faster than the new little plants. It's a big, fat weed. And it takes all the sunlight and the rain away from one of the small new plants. And that little plant dies. The tiny seed hasn't begun to grow yet. It will be too late. Hurry! But finally, it starts to grow into a plant. It's determined. The warm weather also brings the children out to play. They too have been waiting for the sun in the springtime. Just like you. One child doesn't see the plants as he runs along and, oh, he breaks one. Now it cannot grow anymore. Is the little seed surviving? Looks like it. The tiny plant that grew from the tiny seed is growing fast, but its neighbor grows even faster. Before the tiny plant has 3 leaves, the other plant has 7. And look, a bud, and now even a flower. But what is happening? First, there are footsteps. Then a shadow looms over them. Then a hand reaches down and breaks off the flower. I wonder who's going to get it. A boy has picked the flower to give to a friend. How nice. It is summer. We've been through all the seasons now. The tiny plant from the tiny seed is all alone. It grows on and on. It doesn't stop. The sun shines on it and the rain waters it. It has many leaves. It grows taller and taller. It is taller than the people. It is taller than the trees. It is taller than the houses. And now a flower grows on it. People come from far and near to look at this flower. It is the tallest flower they have ever seen. It is a giant flower. It's hard to imagine that that tiny seed could get so large. All summer long, the birds and bees and butterflies come visiting. They've never seen such a big and beautiful flower. Now let's think. If we've been through all the seasons and we go through the cycle, what comes after summer? Let's find out. Now it is autumn again. Remember, autumn is another word for fall. The days grow shorter, the nights grow cooler, and the wind carries yellow and red leaves past the flower. Some petals drop from the giant flower, and they sail along with the bright leaves over the land and down to the ground. And here comes the fun part. The wind blows harder. The flower has lost almost all of its petals. It sways, which means to move, and bends away from the wind. But the wind grows stronger and shakes the flower. Once more, the wind shakes the flower, and this time the flower's seed pod opens. Out come many tiny seeds that quickly sail far away on the land. So guess what's going to happen? The cycle continues. And that's the end of the tiny seed. Hope you enjoyed it.
For this week's Create, we would like to do a project. And it might not just last today, but last you a couple weeks.
Ooh.
We talked about earlier how a bean is a seed. Something very special about a bean, like this one, this lima bean seed here, is that if we put it in a bag and a wet paper towel, we can grow it in the window. Isn't that cool?
Ooh, this should be fun.
So what you need some dried lima beans. You can find lima beans in the frozen section, also in cans, but those are not the ones that we want. You want to find the ones that are in a bag that are dry and they kind of sound, they're hard. You're going to want to take those beans and you want to soak them overnight in some water. Once they're soaked, you can feel that they're a little bit softer. You'll take that bean and you're going to want to take your wet paper towel. You're going to want to wet this down, but squeeze all the extra out of it. And then you're going to want to put it inside your Ziploc bag. Put your bean laying on top inside, and then you can place this in the window. In about a week, you're going to get a little surprise, and you're going to see a tiny little sprout coming out of your bean.
Now, an important thing to remember that makes this project even more interesting is to keep a journal. And it's very simple to create your very own journal using a stapler, a marker, some paper, and I also picked a piece of construction just for some color. Basically, all you need to do, cut your paper in half, which I did here, and then I'm going to take a large piece of construction paper, fold it in half, and remember how we did this before? We pinch and crease. Pinch and crease. Then I put my paper inside to make a booklet. And I staple it. And now I have a book. Now you could do this one of two ways. You can turn it this way. And you can write this way, left to right, kind of like you do for our sentences. Or, I have two samples here. I took my marker and I put a title on it, my plant journal. I drew a couple of leaves. And then here's another one, my plant journal. And this one goes tall, this one goes left to right. And when you're doing a journal, the most important thing to remember. Do you know what the first thing is that you write, Mrs. Day, when you open your journal?
I do, especially when you're being a scientist. You want to keep good data collection, so you want to make sure you have that date at the top.
Exactly. So we want to write the date, and then you can write down what happened. So on the first day, when Mrs. Day puts her seed inside her wet paper towel, inside her bag, we would just draw the bean in the bag and write down day 1. And then a few days later, what was the first thing we're going to write down?
The date.
Because we're being scientists and we're keeping data. So we write the date, and we might write down that we put in more water to keep it wet.
Moist, yep. Mm-hmm.
And we might draw some water drops. It's up to you and your family how many days you check and write in your journal. Good luck with your project.
Friends, it's that time in our show again where we have to say goodbye. It is time to say goodbye to all our friends. It is time to say goodbye to all our friends. It is time to say goodbye. Give a smile and wink your eye. It is time to say goodbye to all our friends.
I want to thank our crew and our families for joining us, and for you, Mrs. Day and Fanny, for joining us today. If you want to watch us, check us out on SMCPS YouTube or Channel 96. Until next time.
Goodbye.